Hi, we're Richard and Jackie from Early Retirement Wanderlust, and we are at the Dalesbridge campsite in the beautiful Yorkshire Dales.
It's a Friday night and we are here for the weekend, and we are meeting up with Luke, our son, and his fiancée Charlotte, and more importantly they are coming up in Nelson, so we have got a Nelson van meetup this
Yay!
weekend. We are learning all about Pearl, our new van, and the kids are learning all about Nelson, so come along with us for the weekend.
We've come inside because it is absolutely freezing out there. The storm is blowing a bit of a hoolie and it's really, really windy. Ironically, we're only about 20 minutes down the road from where we live, but we just wanted somewhere that was quick and easy and nice for us to just have a shakedown of both vans and learn how to use them.
The kids are so excited, they cannot wait, and I think they've realised that they've got a lot to learn about the intricacies of Nelson.
We're going to get set up, we're going to get a nice glass of wine because it's Friday, and get everything ready because Luke is actually going to cook in Pearl for us rather than us cooking. He's quite excited just to have a bit of a play with all the new pans and things. So yeah, we should have a really good weekend.
So Luke, what are we cooking tonight?
Hello everyone, we're cooking a Italian sausage and cavolo nero pasta. Nice one pot, super easy. Yeah, hopefully delicious. So we're going to sweat all this sausage, garlic and cavolo nero down with a healthy slug of white wine, and then we're going to add lots of chicken stock and cream and some thyme and lots of other lovely things, and then we'll basically put the pasta straight in that pan, let it boil away for a good amount of time, and basically it'll sort of thicken up in its own juices, and it's a nice one pot, easy dinner.
Well, good morning. It was quite a wild and stormy night last night. Neither of us had the front covers on because it was that wild and windy. But as ever, you wake up the following day and it's beautiful and calm, and it's a November morning, so it's cold. No one else is up yet. I mean, Jackie's in the van, she's doing a bit of work. I've knocked on the kids, no sign of life there, so I'm just trying to tempt them out with bacon butties and coffee, and then we'll show them a little bit around the van. But I think today is a perfect day for a walk. And looking out over these fields, it's absolutely gorgeous here.
was actually a really lovely walk, and I have to say it was very much needed. Luke cooked us the most amazing meal last night, but we also did have quite a lot of wine to go with it.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a blowout night. It's really nice when you get together with the kids, and we like being impulsive. So yeah, we did have a little bit too much to drink. We did go to the campsite bar, which was lovely. We met loads of subscribers. We met Ross, the owner. It was just a lovely evening, but yeah, I think tired and emotional this morning. The walk, it was quite an interesting one because we've had so much rain in the Dales and it was such a stormy night last night. We stuck to the roads because I think if you venture off the roads and onto the pastures, you're just ankle deep in mud. But it was really nice, really fresh out. I think sometimes we forget it's November, and so you might be able to hear we've got the heating on now and it's nice and cosy back in here. But the kids,
yeah, they've disappeared into settle. Obviously, they didn't have enough beer last night, and the rugby's on this afternoon. So Luke wanted to get a few beers. He's got his laptop ready and primed so that he can watch the rugby this afternoon.
And Charlotte being the dutiful partner, we love you, Charlotte. She has brought some of her homemade parking. So I think we're on sort of recovery tea and parking this afternoon, aren't we?
We are. And then tonight we've got a bit of a treat. We have ordered pizzas from the campsite. The pizzas here are absolutely delicious. They're proper wood-fired ones, so a bit of a treat. And we might go back and have another pint in the bar. Something that we did say when we were on our walk, it was lovely in Pearl last night. There were the four of us, and I thought we'd be really cramped in and there wouldn't be a huge amount of space because it is cosy up in this little dinette area, but actually it was really good. But we fitted in nicely. Luke was cooking most of the night, standing up there, so he didn't particularly take over this space, which was nice. But yeah, it was a pleasant surprise how cosy it was.
Morning.
Morning.
As you can see, we're just getting used to new filming locations in the new van because we can't both sit on the step, but it's an absolutely stunning morning and we had a really good day yesterday. The cheese and rugby went down really, really well. England got the win against New Zealand, the first home win against the All Blacks in 13 years. But the cheese was quite magnificent too, wasn't it, Jax?
We had some vouchers left over from last Christmas and we called in at the Courtyard Dairy, which is just outside of Settle. If you've never been, it is absolutely fantastic. It's an experience in itself. As you enter into there, you get assigned a cheesemonger and they will give you tastes of most of the cheeses in there so that you can really select which cheeses you want. It's not cheap, I'm not going to lie, but when we had the voucher, it was like a nice little treat and the cheese board was delicious.
And I don't think we're overselling it in the fact that it's a nationally renowned cheese sort of venue, really. It's owned by Andy, who is a cheese obsessive, and he handles cheeses from all sorts of small manufacturers, farm-based cheese manufacturers, mainly in the north of England. So it's, yeah, you find some really specialist stuff.
We do. And what's better after an afternoon of rugby than to go up to the bar and have pizzas as well. When you stay at the Dalesbridge, as soon as you book onto the campsite, you do get an email asking if you want to order pizzas. In the summer, it gets rammed and those slots do book up really quickly. So I would advise if you're staying on a weekend or the summer, if you're wanting the pizzas, to get them booked. But again, really, really lovely food. Not overpriced and cooked on their wood fire. Huge pizza oven.
And the opportunity to sit in the bar, have a pint and just have good company. So that was a lovely evening and we've woken up to an absolutely stunning morning. It's amazing over the course of the weekend as to how the weather's changed. So we're going to try and get the kids up in a minute and then go on a sneaky additional walk that we haven't got planned. But when the day is like this and the sky is so blue, you've just got to get out and enjoy the Dales.
And I still need to do lots of footsteps and I need to get quite a lot of elevation gain still before the end of December.
What an absolute difference a day can make. The walk we're on today actually went into Austwick and we sort of followed a similar route, and yesterday we headed up that way. Not that you'd have known because the visibility was pretty low, whereas now it's just blue sky days. Could virtually be out in T-shirts. So we've headed out of Austwick and we're heading across to Clapham. We're staying on the tracks again because obviously it's really wet out. The kids have got, they're targeting a cafe over at Clapham that's apparently does really good coffee. So it might be a morning coffee and then heading back the same way, but absolutely beautiful. And the farmers, just noticed now, is out with the dogs and they're rounding up. I think that walk just goes to show that you cannot rely on the British weather, and we've had all the weathers this weekend. We have had the storms on Friday night. On Saturday it was pretty grey and overcast, but we still managed to get out, and then today has just been absolutely glorious. But the walk was, I think, a little bit further than we planned.
We were only going to do about a 3-mile walk that would take us up to the village of Austwick and across to Clapham. And then Luke stupidly asked, where does that path go to when we got to a junction? So I said, oh, we'll go up there. It goes to Trowgill. Well, 10 kilometres later, we were quite tired. We hadn't taken any water with us, but it was just a beautiful morning to get out on a hike. And we got back just in time because, I don't know if you can hear it now, the rain has arrived.
So the kids do get the joy of packing the van up in the rain, and we're not going to share that, but I think they've had a good time. They've really enjoyed the time in Nelson, and it's really good to see sort of how excited they are about their future adventures.
They've already booked next weekend. They're going away to Hay-on-Wye, to the winter festival, the book festival. And it's lovely to see them just so excited about all the different plans that they've got. And I think they were really grateful that we'd had this weekend together just to get used to all of the things to do with Nelson, show them all of his little intricacies, because there are quite a few, and I'm sure we'll get quite a few phone calls over the next few months.
But the Dalesbridge campsite, even though it's absolutely on our doorstep, it's only 20 minutes away from home, was an ideal location for us to just get the two vans together, have a lovely weekend together, and allow the kids to learn a little bit about Nelson. And also, let's not forget, we've got so much to learn about Pearl, but it was just an ideal location. The Dalesbridge.
Yeah, the Dalesbridge campsite. We've stayed there quite a few times in the past when we've had Nelson, and it's probably one of our favourites. It's in such a good location. It's near a village called Austwick, so you can walk into the village. There is a very well-renowned pub there, the Gamecock Inn, that's got a patisserie, so you can get some nice coffee and cakes, and it's also got a fantastic restaurant. We bumped into a couple that have gone up for Sunday lunch there, so I'm hoping they've had a good meal.
Yeah, I think in Jackie's words, it's a very fancy dancy pub. It's beautiful. And in terms of the overall location, the Dalesbridge is ideally suited if you're thinking of coming up and doing the Three Peaks, the Yorkshire Three Peaks. It's a family-run campsite, and you can tell it's a family-run campsite because the family are around all the time. They're really attentive in terms of looking after their guests, and they run a really good campsite. In terms of a year-round campsite, they are really investing in hard standing, and actually this weekend they've been digging in some more ready for the summer season next year. So it is an ideal overwinter campsite, and to be honest, there aren't many campsites like that in the Dales because most of them shut for the winter.
And I like the fact that they keep the bar open, so if the weather, like it has been over the weekend, isn't great, you can always just get out with your camper vans and just go and have a pint and a chat with the people in there, and the pizzas are just an added bonus.
Yeah, we were really worried because it was a low season weekend. They hadn't scheduled that they were going to have any pizzas on, but they got that many bookings for the weekend, and you know, the weather was not great for this
No.
weekend, and loads of people chose to spend their weekend there. So they opened the pizza place, we made some bookings online, and yeah, that was just a cheeky bonus on Saturday night.
So the facilities, since we first started going years and years ago, they have done up all of the toilet facilities, and they've had a new block with a couple of showers and toilets in it as well. When we first went, gosh, they were like almost like 1960s council toilets. So they've modified them quite a bit, haven't they?
Yeah, the background of the campsite is it was a sort of an old outdoor centre, so it's got a big main house that's now a B&B. It's got sort of function rooms, which is now the bar, and yeah, the shower facilities are much improved, which is an appropriate time to cut to Rate My Shower. Welcome to the Dalesbridge campsite in the Yorkshire Dales. Individual ensuite facilities accessed directly from the outside. The shower is situated behind the toilet area, lined out with contemporary shower boards and a durable wood effect flooring. Built-in drainage that works well in an interesting geometric design. Additional storage space wet side for all your shower accoutrements. Hand wash basins are a nice addition to the suite-like arrangement. A push-button shower timer remains the standard in many UK campsites. A standard shower head with good pressure, soak radius and hot water. Overall strengths: cleanliness, hot water and the number of showers. Areas to develop. We visited in November and no surprise the air temperature was cold. A lack of hookage would be an easy fix. An overall score of 38 out of 50 for the Dalesbridge campsite in the Yorkshire Dales.
It was lovely this weekend to see how busy it was in a cold and wet winter November day. I think I counted something like 25 vans and different vehicles there, which is great. We've only ever been in the summer before, and it's absolutely jumping in the summer. It's really, really busy. There is a great atmosphere. Something we do like about the campsite, you can have fires there. We didn't get the fires out this weekend because it was too wet on the first couple of nights, and then we stayed in the bar a bit too long. But it's lovely in the summer evenings to sort of look around the campsite, and it's busy with all the campfires and families getting together.
So that's it from us for this week. Nelson next week is heading off to the Winter Book Festival at Hay-on-Wye, and Charlotte, bless her, is looking to set up an Instagram account in terms of the extended adventures of Nelson. And if she manages to do that on time, I'll put a link somewhere down here or somewhere in the description, and I'm sure she'd appreciate a follow, and I'm sure you'd want to know what Nelson's up to in his new adventures with his new family.
And we've got a couple more shakedown trips in Pearl. We've got a bit of exploring to do in the Peak District and up in Hawes, and then we are off up to Scotland for a couple of weeks in a winter tour of Pearl. So hopefully the weather will be kind to us.
But a busy few weeks ahead. We're really looking forward to it, and we will catch you soon. See you later. Bye bye.
Bye.